Hi everyone, this is Clucloid here with Retro Age Gaming, and today we're going to be streaming more of Atari 50, the anniversary celebration. Now, the other day, we had finally finished going through the highs and lows of Atari. And today, we're going to be exploring the dawn of PCs with Atari, as for many, the word Atari meant not just games, but their first home computer, even if its main use was to play games. Alright, so 1979, the computer generation. Starting in the 1970s, the personal computer began to carve out its own place in the family home. And for millions of first-time computer owners, the name on the box was a familiar one: Atari. Atari gets personal. Yeah, this is still 79. In November 1979, Atari entered the burgeoning personal computer market with a pair of 8-bit machines, dubbed the Atari 400 and the Atari 800, at $499.99, which is about $2,000 in 2022, and $999.99, which was about $4,000. These were considered to be low-cost machines. See, this is what I don't get. It's equivalent to about $4,000 in our money, and it's considered to be low-cost machines. And like that amount of money would buy that back then if their values were the same. And nobody really has just $4,000 to just throw out on a PC. So that is... what are we doing here? Okay. One key selling point was that they could be connected to a standard television, not an expensive monitor. Alright, so one selling point of the Atari PC was that you could use your television. You didn't have to use a monitor built specifically for the PC, which is great. Computers at home. In the 1960s, the phrase home computer would have been considered science fiction, but as microprocessor technology rocketed forward in the 1970s, Atari was able to create low-price machines that connected to televisions. Suddenly, the dream of the home computer was a reality. The Atari 400. The $499 Atari 400 computer's defining feature was its monopanel membrane keyboard, which was lower cost and could better survive a drink being dropped on top of it, but otherwise made typing a laborious chore. Its low price, though, garnered it twice as many sales as the 800. It had controller ports and a keyboard. And is that a cartridge slot on top?
Hey, Clue.
Hi, Sophie. How are you today? Atari 400 explained. A selection from an Atari computer catalog dating to early 1982 shows off the features of the 400. The Atari home computer equipment.
Okay.
That's good. Basic computer. Atari designed the Atari 400 home computer so that just about anybody can use it. The basic computer is very much at home in the classroom, the family room, or even the kitchen. Its monopanel keyboard makes it virtually spill and childproof.
My family had the two different variants of the 2600.
Oh, nice. Which was better, the original or the 2600 Junior? The Atari 400 computer makes a perfect learning or teaching tool. It can also form the basis of an affordable telecommunication system to allow you access to a variety of computerized information sources. The basic computer makes a perfect choice for beginners. Its flexibility lets you add a variety of Atari computer peripheral equipment so you can build the right system for you.
Unfortunately, my brother smashed the older one with a hammer. The wood panel one low.
The heck did they do that for? The basic computer makes the perfect choice for beginning users. Its flexibility lets you add a variety of Atari computer peripheral equipment so you can build the right system for you. Once you've connected the basic computer to a TV,
To see how it worked.
sounds like it was more how it doesn't work. Once you've connected the basic computer to a TV, just open up one of the Atari starter kits. Get you and the basic computer into action fast. Oh, wait, what? I skipped something. Okay, and away you go. Atari starter kits get you and the basic computer into action fast.
His money back as an engineer later, lol.
Oh, I see. Did he get another 2600 after that? They contain all the materials you need to program and use the computer in any of 4 fields of interest: entertainment, education, computer communications, and programming. Once you have a starter kit, you can expand your system by adding more programs or accessories. Atari starter kits.
He had the smaller form factor one.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want the original? I don't know. I wanted to talk. My Super Nintendo is the Mini from 1999. I don't have an original Super Nintendo, so. Atari starter kits. The Educator. The Educator kit makes learning fun. You and your children can teach yourselves new subjects and skills right in your home. The Educator kit comes with an Atari 410 program recorder to load your programs.
That's not as bad as what my great uncle did.
Oh, what did he do? Okay, the Educator... Is that a game system? The Educator kit comes with an Atari 410 program recorder to load your programs, an Atari Basic Computing Language cartridge, and the States and Capitals program cassette. Atari has many other educational and self-improvement programs as well, including Energy Star, Hangman, Conversational Spanish, French, German, and Italian, European countries and capitals, touch typing, statistics 1, an invitation to programming 1, 2, and 3, Kingdom Scram, a nuclear power plant simulation, biorhythm, music composer, blackjack graphic, and mortgage and loan analysis. That does sound pretty complex. Dang, a $5,000 violin. Did he play violin? Let's see, the Communicator. The Communicator kit brings a world of information to your living room. Get the latest stock market information, weather and sports reports, or even news direct off the wires. You also have access to large information networks like CompuServe and Dow Jones. The Communicator includes the...
Violins in the world, 500,000.
Oh, damn. You also have access to large information networks like CompuServe and Dow Jones. The Communicator includes the Atari Telelink, 1 cartridge, an Atari 850 interface module, and an Atari 830 acoustic modem. You also receive a free hour of connect time each to the Dow Jones Information Services, the CompuServe Information Service.
Asking him to give them the violin and he snapped and destroyed it.
Oh, I see. He could have at least made a YouTube video of that. Get a lot of views, probably. The CompuServe Information Service and the Source, America's Information Utility. The Entertainer. The Entertainer kit contains Star Raiders and Missile Command, 2 exceptionally challenging games. Plug in a game cartridge, connect the 2 joystick controllers, and get set for great games. Oh, I see. Oh, get set for great times. You can choose from all sorts of other terrific computer games, including Asteroids, Basketball, Computer Chess, Space Invaders, Super Breakout, 3D Tic-Tac-Toe, and Video Easel. The Programmer. The Programmer Kit helps you personalize the basic computer by teaching you to write your own computer programs. Programs that can help you solve financial and scientific problems or play computerized music. You can even write your own game programs. The Programmer Kit includes an Atari Basic Computing Language cartridge, the Atari Basic Reference Manual, and the Atari Basic Self-Teaching Guide. Hey, maybe I should get me one of those. So I just qualified for benefits the other day with my employer. I finally got the mailer in. And one of the things they do, if you do not have a bachelor's degree, they will, through a very specific university, I'm not going to say which university because it might give away, well, I think everyone already knows I work at Starbucks. It's ASU. And I'm thinking of doing like full stack engineering, software engineering. I want to take the name I've come up with for this channel. Like I've paid for like the license and logo and everything. So I just want to take the name I already have that I'm using for this channel since I paid for all that and try to make my own retro style games eventually and look into how to possibly get it into some indie catalogs for like PlayStation and Nintendo if possible. So maybe someday in the future, and keep an eye out for retro age gaming games if we ever get that far. If I don't lose my...
It's awesome that you're into engineering and programming.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, if I don't lose my mind somewhere along the way trying to get my bachelor's in full stack software engineering, yes. Atari 400 computer features, RAM 16 kilobytes of RAM included, keyboard is monopanel, pressure sensitive plastic keyboard, dimensions are 13.5 by 11.5, 4.5, 4 3/4 pound. The Atari 400 and Atari 800 home computers share the same basic electronic structure. Each includes an owner's guide TV switch box and AC power adapter. The two computers differ in the following ways. The random access memory, expandability, keyboard, dimensions, price. The Atari 800 computer has a monitor jack for connection of a video monitor in addition to a TV set. If desired, the Atari 800 computer comes with an Atari Basic cartridge. Price and memory expandability represent the key considerations in determining which system best fulfills your requirements. The random access memory. I know something was said about the PS5 where they did something different with the random access memory. I know all the PlayStations up to 4 very heavily utilize random access memory, but from how I understand it, as you would fill up your hard drive on the other PlayStations, because it used random access memory, the more data you had on it, the more lag and other things you would get in your games because the data was accessed randomly, and the PS5 was supposed to be like the first console to include a direct path to all of the data, so you wouldn't have all those issues, and the PS5 is supposed to be like a lot smoother. I haven't really noticed anything, but I don't know. PS5 is the first console also where I've actually pretty much filled up the hard drive. All the others I barely had any games, so let's see. The Entertainer. The Communicator. Okay, so it comes with Star Raiders and those joysticks. Comes with a, does it come with a telephone? Educator.
I do NES homebrew graphical demos.
Oh, nice. Is that like a tape recorder with the educator? What is that? A program. Oh, it comes with some textbooks for the program. Okay. Very cool. Allison. In this television commercial from 1981, a young entrepreneur extols the virtues of her Atari 400 computer for work and play. Oh, and I love that they decided to use a little girl for the ad, too, being an entrepreneur in early 1980. because that, I don't know, that's just great, because I know that's still back in a time where, I mean, we're about to enter a time where women's rights, it's still kind of a thing people are going to have to struggle with, as, you know, certain rights are being revoked, but we've come a long way.
Item program. Atari.
Wait, did it skip half the commercial? What?
How's business?
Fine.
Terrific. How do you keep track of your customers?
My Atari 400 home computer. Excuse me, Dad.
Why Atari?
Shopped around. It's a lot of computing capability for such a low price.
You use it a lot?
Sure, life's not all fun and games. There's homework, item program. Atari has lots of software, not all the others do. And of course, only Atari has games like Centipede.
Game?
Well, we executives have to unwind.
Atari home computers. Only Atari with so much in it for you.
Yeah, okay, that didn't look very appealing to me at all, but okay. The Atari 800. The key upgrade in the Atari 800 model was its full-stroke sculptured keyboard, although it also included a second cartridge slot output for a monitor instead of a TV, and the ability to upgrade its built-in RAM with extra memory modules sold separately. That's actually pretty neat looking, although you can't just change out the keyboard from the looks of it, which could be a problem. The Atari 800 explained. A selection from an Atari computer catalog dating to early 1982 shows off the features of the 800. Okay, the Atari 800 home computer. The Atari 800 computer's memory expandability makes it suitable for sophisticated programs such as the Atari Word Processor, Dow Jones Investment Evaluator, and Personal Financial Management System. You can easily expand random access memory capacity to 48 kilobytes with convenient slip-in memory modules. The additional memory allows the use of Atari 810 disk drive and diskette-based programs. In fact, the Atari 800 computer can control up to 4 disk drives. It also offers a monitor jack, typewriter-style keyboard, and the ability to handle the powerful programming utilities of Atari Microsoft Basic. Atari 400-800 computer features. The computer console, FCC approved with built-in RF modulator, connects to any TV in the USA. Color, choose from 16 colors and 16 intensities. Sound, 4 independent sound synthesizers for musical tones or game sounds, 4 octaves, variable volume, and tone for each channel. Internal speaker. The display has 3 text modes, 24 lines of 40 characters, double width characters, or double height, double width characters, 9 graphics modes, from 40 columns by 24 rows up to 320 columns by 192 rows. The keyboard with 57 alphanumeric keys plus 4 special function keys, upper lower case and burst video, full screen editing, 4-way cursor control, 29 graphics keys, I/O serial input output, port for simple connection to peripherals, for controller jacks for joystick and paddle controllers. Memory includes a built-in 10 kilobyte read-only memory ROM operating system and 16 kilobyte random access memory RAM. ROM may be expanded with user-installed cartridge programs. CPU is a 652B microprocessor, 0.56 millisecond cycle, 1.8 millihertz. Power is UL-approved AC transformer included, 120 VAC 19-watt. Atari 800 computer features RAM, 16 kilobytes of RAM included, may be expanded in 8 kilobyte or 16 kilobyte increments up to 48 kilobytes RAM with user-installed memory modules. Keyboard is full-stroke typewriter-like keyboard, which allows fast, easy data entry and interaction with the computer. If desired, a monitor jack allows composite video output for connection to a color or black and white monitor, in addition to a standard television set. A language, Atari Basic cartridge, is included, also programmable in Atari Microsoft Basic, Pilot, and Assembly language. Owner's Guide, Atari Basic Self-Teaching Guide, and Atari Basic Reference Manual included. Dimensions are 16 by 12.5, 4.5 by 9 and 3/4 pounds. Okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. Father and son. In a television commercial from 1981, a dad explains why he bought an Atari 800 computer for his son.
Bought a home computer, huh?
An Atari 800 home computer. Nothing but the best for my son.
Why Atari?
Atari makes computers that, seem friendly, part of the family.
Want to show off?
Sure, they're real easy. Terrific software, huh?
Nice graphics.
And how do you like this for sound capability?
Impressive.
It sure is.
So what's his first project?
Soon, the alphabet. A is for airplane.
Atari home computers. Only Atari puts so much in it for you.
Okay, yeah, those graphics look terrible, and that did not look easy at all, but okay. The first gaming PC. Former Atari engineers David Crane and Jerry Jessup and game designer Ed Fries discuss how the first Atari computers were really souped-up game consoles and why everyone was just fine with that.
I think the Atari 400, 800 were really the first home computers that I felt like were designed to be in somebody's home and for an average person to utilize.
Atari, made some interesting decisions over the years. I mean, they were #1 in the world in making video games, but they saw home computers were coming. Apple II was out, and they said, we got to compete with Apple for, computers. So it came down from on high that we were going to make a computer like the Apple II, but better in some way. But the engineering department said, hey, we're video game people. Why are we doing this? But they were told, you will do this. So what actually happened was the engineers made the Atari 800 into the next best video game player. It had all the sprite capability, it had coprocessors in there, the first GPU in a computer was probably in the Atari 800. All of this stuff was going on in the engineering department, and yet management thought we were making a computer. We were really just making a video game that we could make cool games on.
My participation was mainly on the prototype pre-production side. We had this very sophisticated, allegedly sophisticated, internal interactive test system called the PIT system that we couldn't get a single unit to pass. Labor Day 1979, can you guys work overtime over the weekend? We need to hand build some production units because we need to put them complete through the
Breakout was my favorite Atari game.
consumer product.
Oh,
in
mine
box.
too.
We need these for JCPenney's so that they can make the holiday catalog. So we worked, I actually didn't leave Atari for about 3 days, hand building these units. And it was like 4 400s and 4 800s to ship on Monday to JCPenney's. They received them at their warehouse. They took pictures of them for the catalog, and then they immediately shipped them back to us. That was it. That's what we needed to do to get this product out.
My main contribution to the Atari 800 operating system, I created a language similar to PostScript that could draw lines and squares and circles and vector graphics drawn into the bitmap of the Atari 800 and put them into the operating system so that I didn't have to put it in any of my games. So I could borrow from the operating system stuff that I'd put in there and use it when making games. So yes, we were tasked with working on the operating system, but we did it our way. We did it in the video game method.
The idea came up that maybe I could get one of these machines for Christmas, and I thought I was going to get an Apple II because that was what I had at school and what I thought was cool. But I got an Atari, and it was an Atari 800 with a tape cassette drive. At first I was like, oh, it's not an Apple, but it's my own computer. It's super exciting. And then the more I got into it, the more I realized it was so much better than the Apple. Probably piss off some Apple people, but it was really an amazing machine. I mean, the graphics and sound on it were incredible, and it was a super fun machine to program. And so that was really what got me started.
Star Raiders. While Atari's computer marketing de-emphasized gaming in favor of more serious applications, the fact remained that the 400 and 800 were very capable gaming machines, as exemplified by the exclusive game Star Raiders, which was a massive early hit. You can play the slightly improved Atari 5200 version in this collection. Created by Doug Neubauer, the space combat simulation Star Raiders was the first killer app for Atari 8-bit computers. The 5200 version, running on very similar hardware but with the convenience of analog joystick and keypad controls, brought one of Atari's defining computer games to the console audience.
Actual 3D on an Atari is impressive.
Right? Although it's not actual 3D, it's pseudo 3D. Or 2.5D or whatever you call it, isometric view. I have no idea what I'm doing, so... Original cover art. The original artwork used on the cover of Star Raiders for Atari 8-bit computers, signed McCormack. Hey, I have that same name signed on my sock grinder. Atari's computer killer app. Game developers Ed Fries, Jerry Jessup, and Owen Rubin talk about why Star Raiders was the game that made people want to buy an Atari computer.
And I would...
Why does it keep skipping? No, stop. Go back to the beginning. And then I'm going to eat some chocolate and turn off my mic.
We had access to the 800, 400, pre-production models for probably a good year before they ever hit the marketplace. And I would literally every weekend check out an Atari 800 and prototype Star Raiders and spend the entire weekend playing Star Raiders. It was just absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't get enough of it.
One of my favorite games in the 800. I really liked Star Raiders. I still play that today. I still bring up my Atari 800 and play that occasionally.
Star Raiders was the killer app. Star Raiders was to the 800 what Halo was to the Xbox. It was the game. You really, pretty much everyone bought it with the system. It was the system seller.
It was very well done. It had a lot of depth. It was easy. It had easy modes where people could get through it, and you could work up to the harder modes. And the harder modes just made things a little more difficult. They didn't penalize you for getting good at the game. So,
what did I do with my 800? And I actually did buy an Atari 800 in the company store, and I paid full price for it, full employee price. And I played Star Raiders because that's what you did on the Atari 800. There was a lot of great stuff about, storing recipes and doing this and learning things. And I did go through some of the learning things, but I played the living daylights out of Star Raiders, which was, I think, probably for a couple of years the most phenomenal game you could play outside of an arcade.
I mean, I had enough of it after 2 minutes, but whatever. Okay, let's see. 1980. Is my mic on now? Can everybody hear me? The Atari 830. Before fiber and Wi-Fi, going online with your personal computer required a slightly different procedure. The Atari 830 acoustic modem let you attach your telephone handset to your computer so you could dial up a local bulletin board and connect with other Atari users. The Atari 830 acoustic modem allows you to communicate with other computers over standard telephone lines. You gain access to computer databases, information, and services such as weather, transportation schedules, entertainment, events, electronic mail, even computer programs. Here are some of the features. The Atari 830 is a standalone, acoustically coupled frequency shift keying FSK modem. Operates at rates up to 300 bits per second. Communications are possible with both originate-only or answer-only modems. Fully compatible with the Bell 103-113 series modems. Controls sets full duplex operation. Test sets up audio self-test. Half sets up half duplex operation. And sets answer mode. Off turns Atari 830 modem power off. Orig sets originate mode. Transmitter frequencies. Originate mark 1270 Hz space 1070 kilohertz. Answer mark 2225 Hertz space 2025 Hertz. Receive frequencies. Originate mark 2225 Hertz space 2025 Hertz. Answer mark 1270 Hertz space 1070 Hertz. Receive sensitivity 50 dBm. Indicators. Power LED shows power on off. Ready LED shows read to communicate. Power UL approved. Power adapter included. 120 VAC, 7 watt, electrical requirements, UL listed wall mount transformer on a 6-foot cord included, interface modem, cable model number CX87 included. This cable connects the Atari 830 acoustic modem to the Atari 850 interface module. Dimensions 10.2 by 4.7 by 2.3, 1.5 pounds. Operational environment is 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, 10% to 90% relative humidity. Non-condensing storage environment is below 40 Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit of 140, 10 to 90% relative humidity. Non-condensing. Okay, Mom, this TV commercial from 1981. Families discover that many of their problems can be solved with an Atari computer, but not all of them.
Atari brings the computer age home.
Okay, Ma, what's the capital of Nebraska? Come on, I'm trying.
Atari home computers can teach you or reach you with important information anytime, day or night.
I already checked the computer. The Bears lost.
How about the Lions?
Oh, you owe me on that, too.
And if your jump shot is a little off, we can help you there, too.
Hey, guys, how about a deal? The car tonight for Atari basketball.
No.
In fact, there's no end to your possibilities with Atari home computers. They're easy to use and afford. But best of all, they just might be the wisest investment you'll ever make.
Watch this. Hey, Mom. What's the capital of Delaware?
Dover.
I told you she's smart.
Atari home computers. We've brought the computer age home.
So, okay. Isn't there a Dolly Parton song about Dover? Let's see. Caverns of Mars. In late 1981, Atari established the Atari Program Exchange, or APX, a division that would publish and sell the best Atari computer programs submitted by users. The biggest APX hit was Caverns of Mars by Greg Christensen, a vertically scrolling shooter in which a player infiltrated a cavern, set a bomb, then escaped. Atari later released this under its own label. Oh, so kind of like how Pac-Man took a fan game and released it under its own label. It's Miss Pac-Man, and Sega did the same thing with Sonic Mania. Let's see.
Was the chocolate yummy?
Oh yeah, the chocolate was really good. It's these Lindt gourmet truffles. I bought it online. I thought it was a much bigger box. It was like $6 for this box. And I'm like, oh, it's like, that's going to be a decent amount of chocolate. And it was just this. I should have paid attention to the size, but that's what I get for not paying attention. Okay, let's see. Also plays on XE game system and XE computers. Guide your fighter through the perilous caverns of Mars to destroy Martian headquarters. Mars declares war. It says it's a cartridge. It just says Atari home computers. I guess it's compatible for both 400 and 800, or what? Greg Christensen was still a senior in high school when he created Caverns of Mars, a vertical space shooting game which proved so successful within the homebrew Atari Program Exchange, its biggest seller, that Atari ultimately published it as an official game cartridge in 1983. Oh, wow. This is the 81 version? Caverns of Mars. It's a homebrew game. Okay, there's some... I can't get the fuel? Okay. I'm supposed to destroy the fuel? What? This is way better than most of the stuff Atari made, so... You gotta trust the fans on some of this stuff. Okay, that looks like items I can grab. I get confused. Can I grab some of this stuff, or am I supposed to destroy it? I guess I have to destroy it. I mean, that looks like missiles and capacitors and fuel, all the stuff a ship would want, but I'm not supposed to touch any of it. I'm not going to bother with that. It's way over there. Okay, I didn't destroy that, so I thought maybe I was supposed to pick it up, but no. I guess I can't destroy the F-bombs. The F-bombs do not go away. Okay, I can destroy them. I don't know what's going on then. Hey, there's New York City down here. Escape time, 30. 30 seconds. Okay. I can't shoot anymore? Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out! No! I need to try that again. Hang on. I gotta at least make it through. I gotta at least make it out of this first level. I can't not make it out. Oh wait, I get more fuel as I destroy the fuel? That's what's happening? And there's 5 bases, okay. And I'm on base 1. If I could just make it through the first base, I will be good. I would be fine with that.
There are so many more Atari games than I thought there were.
Oh yes, I think this collection has over 150 Atari games on it. Now, I do not know if they count the different variations of games as different games, because they sure did back when it released on the 2600. It's like, oh, it's got 26 games in one. It's like, no, it doesn't. It's all the same game with different rules. Or features. It's not anything different. I get aggravated at some of the homebrew communities too, where they'd like try to claim that they've made it's like playing a completely new game, and then all the dungeons and bosses are exactly the same. It's like, no, it's pretty much the same game with a different overworld. I keep dying. No. Oh, I can save the game. I think I will do that. I will save it as I get past each part and then just load so that I can get out of here. Because I want to see what happens when I escape. Come on, let me out. That's cool, though, that Atari would encourage homebrew. I know Sega encourages homebrew as well, although Nintendo is the only one that really doesn't like homebrew. Alright, if I can...
There are so many more Atari games than I thought there were.
Okay, game has been saved.
I remember I had boxes and boxes of games. We had like 10 games load. I could probably name my entire library as a kid.
You only had 10 Atari games? Oh crap. Okay, let's try this again. To be fair, I don't have a lot of games for my newer consoles, like the PS5, like PS5 games specifically, I maybe have 10 games for. My Switch, I do have quite a few games for. I probably have more Switch games than anything. Only issue is I cannot stream any of my Switch games because Nintendo does not like people showcasing their content. So, and I'm not sure if I could stream on Xbox. I think you might be able to with a gold pass or like membership. I think you have to pay to be able to, or maybe you can't at all. PlayStation is the only console that's like really friendly towards streamers, which is why, of course, I'm doing all of my streaming from a PlayStation. And why did I blow up halfway down? Alright, I'm gonna save right here. Yeah. What just happened? No! Okay. Get me out of here. I'm running out of fuel, though. But my fuel is the same as the seconds, so I should be fine.
I keep thinking about getting Atari 50 and I just haven't done it yet.
I would highly recommend. Especially now that they just released the expanded edition, if you could find a copy of the original.
This reminds me of River Raid.
River Raid. What console was that for? Entering Cavern 2. Oh boy. I can go ahead and save that. Yeah.
It was on 2600 originally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Atari 50. Especially if you could find a physical copy of the original. Now that the expanded is out, you could get the original probably for way cheaper. And then just later get the DLC. Or you could just drop $40 on the expanded edition. Like I did. Game over. Oh well. That was pretty fun. One of the most fun Atari games that I played, and it was homebrew.
I should be getting more physical games anyways.
Yeah, the physical games you can always get for cheaper because a lot of people are buying digital now, so physical copies of games are actually cheaper to buy than digital copies if you buy them secondhand because people have a hard time getting rid of them. Especially if it's a PlayStation game because PlayStation has great sales going on all the time. And so, like, when they have their sale, if a game goes for, like, $7.99, and then the sale is over, you could still get the physical copy for a lot cheaper than you could have because a lot of people just bought it digitally for $7.99, and so they're not really interested in the physical copy anymore. So, which is probably why Nintendo never has sales on their games, because they know that having sales then affects the overall value. When raising the price back up, people aren't going to buy it because they all got it on sale. Which is why it's so expensive to get Nintendo games. Yeah, looking at my collection over here, I probably have more PlayStation games. I got 2 shelves of PlayStation games and 1 shelf of Switch with a few Wii and Wii U games on it. Although most of my PlayStation games are PS4 and only a handful are PS5. The original cover art. Original artwork used on the cover of the Atari published version of Caverns of Mars. Caverns of Mars, signed McCormack. And this is the high school senior that made this game. That's very impressive. 2 families. In this TV ad comparing Atari's computers to rival brands, one family is excited about upcoming games for their Atari 800, while another family feels they may have made a big mistake.
These families are learning about home computers. The family with the Atari home computer is learning
Spanish, German,
French.
Italian.
the other.
No foreign languages.
The Atari family is learning
3 programs teach us to program.
the other.
We've only one.
And while the Atari family learns to play Centipede Star Raiders and soon,
E.T.
the other.
E.T.
He made a mistake.
Over 1,000 programs
Ah!
featuring the world's most popular games, but sorry, only with Atari.
I don't know. I think the family with E.T. was the one that made the mistake, but okay. Miner 2049er, another breakout hit for the 400-800 computers.
Game. I don't care what anyone says, lol.
Oh, for real? I just hear it's bad. I've never actually played it. Another breakout hit for the 400-800 computers, Miner 2049er, was a platform game created by Bill Hogue, which he published through his company Big 5 Software. The recipient of Game of the Year in the 1984 Archie Awards, Miner 2049er, was one of the best-selling computer games of the era. That does not look very fun compared to the 5200 version. Okay, no, it looks fairly similar. Miner 2049er helped establish a platform gameplay that dominated home gaming in the decade that followed. The Atari computer version used a 16 kilobyte cartridge instead of the standard 8 kilobyte, making it unusually expensive for its time. Oh, I can skip zones. That's pretty cool. This looks a lot different than... Yeah, this level layout is not the same as the 5200, I don't believe.
With the Atari 2600, and we bought a used 2600 console with a bunch of games. That was one of them. I was young enough that I played.
Miner 2049er was also on the 2600? Okay, this axe has to work like the hammer from Marvel. So I can just stick my face up their butt to kill them. That's okay. Okay, okay. Da 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 da. Grab the shovel. Howdy. And I died.
It doesn't have any background music, and it really should, because it's a slower game.
For sure.
What's up, hats?
Ooh, there's a teacup and a jelly donut. Are all the level layouts exactly the same, or is it just making me restart because I died after getting the last thing? Okay. Enter your name. All these symbols I don't want. Hey, hey. All right. It'll blow your mind. Many different Miner 2049er advertisements ran in video game magazines from mid-1983 all the way until late 1984. It'll blow your mind.
I grew up with the Atari 2600, and we bought a used
You and Mounty Bounty Bob follow the notorious Yukon Johan into the depths of an abandoned uranium mine.
Howdy do.
But before you can capture him, you've got to maneuver through 10 increasingly difficult levels of traps, tricks, and lethal challenges. You'll scale ladders, make death-defying leaps, jump from moving platforms, neutralize deadly mutants, avoid crushing stompers, even shoot yourself out of a cannon, and through it all, you'll be racing against the clock. Skill, endurance, split-second timing, you're going to need every ounce you can muster to conquer Miner 2049er, but if you like multi-screen, full-color arcade action games, Miner 2049er will blow your mind. Or your mind. Apple, IBM, Coleco. It's on Commodore 64, Commodore VIC-20, Electronic Game of the Year. You've got to dig deep to find a more exciting game than Miner 2049er. Not that deep. Now, Redstone brings Commodore VIC-20 and Commodore 64 owners one of the hottest home computer games ever created, Miner 2049er. Help the legendary Mounty Bounty Bob chase the dastardly Yukon Johan through an abandoned uranium mine, all 10 levels of it. But you've got to avoid the deadly radioactive mutants, and watch out for the pulverizers, explosives, slides, and falls, and grab all the treasure you can along the way and beat the clock. Any computer game you've played up to now has just been practice for Miner 2049er. It's fast and furious, a goldmine of action for the serious computer gamer, and Commodore VIC-20 and Commodore 64 owners can get it only from Reston. A creative pastime from Reston Software. Stake a claim on the most exciting new game for your Atari home computer. From the programming team that brought you Robot Attack, Defense Command, and many other great arcade games for your TRS-80, 100% machine language, 16 kilobyte ROM cartridge, the largest available anywhere, written specifically for the Atari, not a converted Apple game. 10 different rounds, difficulty adjustment, high score table, demo mode, spectacular sound and graphics, runs on any 400-800 with at least 16 kilobyte memory, only $49.95. Oh my god, that's more expensive than what I paid for this whole collection. Here are just 3 of 10 rounds in the game. You and Mounty Bounty Bob follow the notorious Yukon Johan into the depths of an abandoned Ukrainian mine, but before you can capture him, you've got to maneuver through 10 increasingly difficult levels of traps, tricks, and lethal challenges. You'll scale ladders, make death-defying leaps, blah blah blah, is the exact same thing I read on the others. Discover a goldmine of pleasure with Miner 2049er. Climb aboard Miner 2049er for the most exciting ride of your life with Bounty Bob, the famous Mountie, as he trails a dangerous desperado into an abandoned uranium mine loaded with hazardous radioactive wastes, deadly mutant organisms, a whole minefield of dangers and tasks to perform, plus the deadline pressure of a ticking time clock that can end your life at any moment. Discover golden nuggets of fun and El Dorado of excitement, a motherload of thrills with Miner 2049er. Maybe the greatest game ever invented. Can you dig it? Available now from these distinguished publishers on these systems: Atari 400 and 800, Atari 5200, Apple, Texas Instruments, Atari 2600. Oh, it was on the 2600. Commodore 64, VIC-20, ColecoVision, and IBM. Well, well. Scraper Caper? Although it was touted in this November 1983 two-page advertisement spread, Bill Hoke's planned follow-up to Miner 2049er called Scraper Caper never actually came out. Bounty Bob would make his return in a different game called Bounty Bob Strikes Back in 1985. Meet your hottest challenge yet in Scraper Caper. In Miner 2049er, you help the legendary Bounty Bob track the villainous Yukon Johan through an abandoned uranium mine, all 10 levels of it, grabbing buried treasure and avoiding deadly radioactive mutants along the way. Well, that was only the beginning. Yukon Johan has escaped to the city and Bounty Bob is after him. Only this time, Bob's run out of bucks, so he's taken a job as a fireman to fund the chase. And guess which villain has torched a skyscraper to trap Bounty Bob? You guessed it, Yukon Johan. Scraper Caper has all the action, adventure, and excitement that can be packed into a ROM cartridge, and it features mind-boggling number of rounds, difficulty adjustment, high score table, demo mode, and spectacular sound and graphic effects. Miner 2049er is a gamer's goldmine, but you've got to beat Scraper Caper to get to the top. Scraper Caper is available from your local dealer for the Atari 5200 Super System and all Atari home computers. I like how it says it is available, even though it never became available. That's something else. All right, I need to get some water. Get some water here. Juggles house. One of the major selling points of personal computers to parents was the fact that a computer might help their children get a leg up on their education. Atari software like Juggles House extended that promise even to the youngest kids. Wait, this other thing said it was 2 pages? Or maybe just 2 pages wide. It doesn't show 2. Okay. Learning is fun. Juggles House, a guide for children and parents. Your child can have fun while learning and exploring with Juggles House. Here are a few other activities you might want to try. You can talk about objects in and around your home as examples of inside, outside, upper, and lower. This will help your child begin to learn the names of different objects while reinforcing the ideas presented in Juggles House. Pointing to the directions at the bottom of the screen will help your child learn to follow a line of print. Your child can name the colors on the screen, count the shapes or objects shown, and make up stories about what he or she sees. Gavin thinks he's playing, an ad for Juggles House from the fall 1983 edition of Atari Connection magazine. Gavin thinks he's playing. Gavin's mother knows he's learning. With colorful graphics, lively melodies, and captivating computer animation, Juggles House teaches upper and lower, inside and outside. Understanding these concepts helps your child learn to recognize shapes and letters to begin reading. Games with windows, toy shelves, and a clown's house help children understand basic writing and counting concepts. And naturally, Juggles House comfortably establishes computer awareness. Give your child Juggles House for its early learning fundamentals, or give your child Juggles House for the fun of it. Atari 1200 XL. In March 1983, Atari attempted to update its 8-bit computer line for the 1980s, producing the sleek metallic accented 1200 XL. The updated design concealed the fact that it was roughly identical to the 400 and 800 under the hood. The high $899 price tag made it such a non-starter that Atari took it off the market within months. And it's essentially the same machine.
Is Tales from the Cotton Fields Part 1 and 2.
What movie, Part 1 and 2? Atari 600 XL and 800 XL. Atari quickly moved to replace the failed 1200 XL with 2 cheaper, smaller models. The 600 XL and 800 XL were fundamentally identical to the 400 and 800, but with more RAM. But this time, the cheaper pricing 800 XL in particular was Atari's best-selling computer model of all time. It's going all the time. Atari got actor Alan Alda to endorse the new XL computers in this advertisement from the spring of 1984. Computer enthusiast Alan Alda uses the Atari 800 XL computer system. Alda reports it's going all the time. Why does that look like Joey from DK Oldies? I'm just saying. Introducing the Atari XL home computers. We made them smart enough to know you're only human.
Tales from the Cotton Fields Part 1 and 2. Must watch for married white women like myself.
The new Atari XL home computers prove that you can blend state-of-the-art technology with good old-fashioned friendliness. What's a friendly computer? For one thing, is a computer that speaks your language. Both the new Atari 600 XL and the new Atari 800 XL. Computers come with a built-in basic language that uses the same simple English you use to converse with the rest of the world. Press the help button, not the panic button. Every Atari XL computer comes with a help key, something you won't find on any other home computer. New programs are becoming available that let you use this key for helpful prompts. When you're unsure of what to do next, press another special key, and your Atari XL automatically performs a self-diagnostic check, a feature that can save you a needless trip to one of our more than 1,000 Atari service centers. The Atari 600 XL. It gets smarter as you do. With 16 kilobytes of memory, the inexpensive Atari 600 XL can handle over 1,000 programs, including education, home management, word processing, and personal development. Like all Atari home computers, it gives you 256 colors, 4 sound channels, and Atari's unsurpassed graphics. But unlike a lot of other computers, the Atari 600 XL is ready to grow when you're ready to grow. Every Atari XL computer is fully compatible with every Atari peripheral. Peripherals are added on to expand what your computer can do. Atari peripherals include a low-cost letter-perfect printer for word processing, a telephone modem that lets you use your telephone to connect your computer to other computers thousands of miles away, a disk drive and a cassette recorder to store data, and trackballs and joysticks to use with Atari's unequaled lineup of great arcade hits. An Atari 600 XL computer can be turned into a very brainy 64 kilobyte computer at a very affordable price. The Atari 800 XL power enough for over 2,000 programs with 64 kilobytes of built-in memory. As much as the more expensive Apple and IBM computers, the Atari 800 XL can take any of over 2,000 software programs. That's 5 times as many as the Commodore 64. There's a VisiCalc for electronic spreadsheets faster than the fastest accountant, the home filing manager to help keep track of everything from medical records to phonograph records, family finances to keep up with your cash flow, educational programs like Juggles Rainbow that helps preschoolers develop skills necessary for recognizing the alphabet, even an invitation to programming for learning how to program. When you've got your computer, you've got our number. If you ever find yourself stuck or have any questions at all, just give us a call. In California, feel free to talk it over, because if there's anything friendlier than an Atari home computer, it's the humans who make them so friendly. You'll do more with Atari home computers. Atari Soft. Atari's main advantage over its rivals in the home computer market was its vast library of well-known exclusive games. In 1983, Atari apparently decided it could make more money by simply providing those games for its competitors' machines. The Atari Soft division was a huge hit, although it came to an end after Jack Tramiel took over. All the hits your computer is missing. Battlezone for the Commodore VIC-20, Joust for IBM PC, Miss Pac-Man, Apple II, Moon Patrol, TI-99-4A, and Pole Position, Commodore 64. If you thought you'd never find fun games for your hard-working home computer, happy days are here, because now Atari Soft has all the great hits. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong by Nintendo, Centipede, Defender, Joust, Jungle Hunt, Moon Patrol, Pole Position, Galaxian, Miss Pac-Man, and Battlezone.
Tales from the Cotton Fields Part 1 and 2. Tales from the Cotton Fields Part 1 and 2. Must watch for married white women like myself.
We've got them for all the hit computers: Apple, IBM, Commodore 64, VIC-20, ColecoVision, and TI-99-4A. We've got Pac-Man, Centipede, and Defender for Intellivision 2. So dust off your joystick and ask your dealer for all the Atari Soft hits. It's the software your hardware's been not looking for. It's the software your hardware's been waiting for. Atari Soft, all the hits your computer is missing. A new era. In June 1984, Jack Tramiel's company acquired the assets of the Atari computer and home gaming divisions from Warner Communications. Tramiel renamed the company Atari Corporation and set about developing a new 16-bit PC aimed primarily at competing with his old company, Commodore. The Atari Commitment. Jack Tramiel. Sam Tramiel, President, Atari Corp. It all dates back more than 25 years ago to Toronto, Canada, where in 1958 a young man with a dream, a lot of guts, and a vision started a typewriter sales and repair shop. The startup, makeshift company was named Commodore Business Machines Limited. Never settle for doing things the way they were done in the past. Always find new ways to do things better, less expensively, and more efficiently. Our customers are mature. Wait, our customers are mature and intelligent people. We must give them the best for their hard-earned money, because if we don't, they will know we've cheated them. There is a R in there, right? Is that talking about customers? Because I swear that says customers. Okay. Applying this work ethic every day of his life, Tramiel set in force aggressive plans that many thought too ambitious and unattainable. 25 years later, Tramiel had successfully manufactured and marketed reliable and affordable typewriters, radios, adding machines, thermostats, office furniture, electronic calculators, and personal computers through major retail outlets in over 38 countries around the world. On January 2nd, 1984, after masterminding the growth of a mere typewriter repair shop in 1958, into the leading microcomputer sales and marketing organization in the world, with gross sales of over $1 billion annually, Mr. Jack Tramiel resigned his position as president and founder of this same company, now known as Commodore International Limited, at age 55, having accumulated vast personal wealth, a track record second to none. And when most men are considering retirement, Jack Tramiel made the biggest decision of his career. Convinced there was still a better way to do it, and dissatisfied with the dull and technically unadvancing personal computer industry since his departure, Jack Tramiel, on July 2nd, 1984, made public his decision to purchase the personal computer and video game divisions of the financially troubled Atari Incorporated, a division of Warner Communications Incorporated. The new Atari Corporation is comprised of a small group of hand-picked, seasoned professionals. All are well known in the industry and have a proven track record. All are hands-on, fiercely competitive, profit-oriented working managers. The finely tuned machine under the leadership of a 26-year-old veteran of the trade will turn this new company into a billion-dollar winner, a turnaround that will resemble the closest thing this country has seen since Lee Iacocca led the turnaround of Chrysler. For the more than 21 million purchasers around the world of Atari personal computers and video game products, your original decision to purchase was the right one. You are now also a part of this exciting new movement. The new Atari will stretch the outer limits of technology and take you, our customer, into another generation of advanced technology and communications, all at affordable, rock-bottom prices. Bounty Bob Strikes Back. Bill Hogue followed up Miner 2049er with Bounty Bob Strikes Back. While the gameplay was similar to the original, the graphics now had an appealing pseudo-3D look. The sequel to Miner 2049er retained the platform gameplay but refined the formula, adding a pseudo-3D perspective to the graphics and boasting 25 levels compared to the original game's 10. I mean, it still kind of looks and feels the same to me, but... Oh, dang it. He tricked me. Okay. Okay. Now I can get him. Turn back, turn back, turn back. Are they going to change back or no? Yeah, probably not. No! Game over. Oh, wow. That's too bad. Atari ST. Atari introduced the Atari ST computer in the spring of 1985 based on the 16-bit Motorola 68,000 chip and embraced the then new concept of the graphical user interface, or GUI, letting users point and click on the screen with a mouse. The ST line was mostly successful in Europe, where it became a popular gaming platform. The Atari 130 ST and 520 ST. Microprocessor, cartridge, slot for programs, and easy ROM expansion, joystick and mouse ports, built-in expansion ports, advanced. The easy-to-use ST, today's most versatile and powerful personal computer. Tomorrow's computer today. Task sharing lets you tackle large jobs with ease. First, user interface, GUI, graphical user interface. Let's see, folders, disks, desktop utilities, menu bars, drop-down menus. Easy-to-use mouse replaces complex computer commands and keyboard entries. As you roll the mouse across your desktop, a pointer moves across your display. To make a selection, you simply point to one of the display's graphic images and click the mouse button. Nice. The Atari XE. The Tramiel-led Atari Corporation also gave the 8-bit computer lines one more upgrade, introducing the low-priced XE line. At under $200, it had the redesigned look of the ST, but was fundamentally the same computer that dated back to the 1970s and the 400-800. And the Atari XEGS. Now nearly 10 years old, the Atari 8-bit architecture got one more release in 1987 as the Atari XE game system. Atari released a new line of game cartridges with XEGS branding, although most of them were essentially the same games that had appeared on the computers and the Atari 5200 home systems. This made it difficult for the XEGS to compete. Got some colorful buttons up here. Food Fight. One game that was only released in XEGS packaging was a port of the 1983 arcade game Food Fight. Ultimately, very few XE games were released, and it had a short shelf life. I remember this game. We played this one. Is it essentially the same game? It doesn't look any different. A part of Atari's arcade game starring Charlie Chuck, who flings foodstuffs at a trio of aggressive chefs, and vice versa. The home computer version of Food Fight was one of only 32 games released under the Atari XE computer banner. However, its single joystick and lone action button made it a good fit for that system's controller, which was the same Atari CX40 joystick included with the Atari 2600. Food Fight. Eat the cone, player one. I don't know. I think the arcade version looked better. This is definitely a lot faster, though. The arcade one looked a lot better. He runs a lot faster. I just want to eat the ice cream cone! Leave me alone. Okay. They're up over there this time. Out of my way. Yay! Let me eat the ice cream. I want to eat the ice cream. Out of my way. Out of my way. Spinach flavor, my favorite. Ooh, that looks like some caramel stuff over there. I want to eat that. No! Game over. Oh, boo-hoo. Original art. The original art used for the cover of home versions of Food Fight. That's the only XE game? Okay. Jack Strikes Back. Having been ousted by the company he founded, Commodore, just after it launched the Commodore 64 computer, new Atari CEO Jack Tramiel was focused on defeating his former company. But with Atari and Commodore so focused on each other, it was Apple computers that ended up the most popular machines of the era. Atari PC. By 1987, the trends were clear. The IBM-compatible forerunners of today's modern PCs were dominating the home computer market. Atari even entered the market with the Atari PC, releasing the first models in 1987. Atari Business Systems, a range within your range. Atari portfolio. Before it left the computer business, Atari had one more first, the first Palm-top PC. The Atari Portfolio, compatible with the IBM Standard, Portfolio let users do basic tasks like text editing and spreadsheets on a tiny device, then transfer the data to their home PC. It famously appeared in the film Terminator 2. 16-bit personal computer, the Portfolio, from Atari. Essentially like one of the first laptops. Atari Falcon. Atari's final computer was the Falcon, a 32-bit machine that was only produced for a year and is today a high-priced collector's item. Yump. Created in 2007 by a four-person team from Poland, Yump is an action game in which a bouncing ball travels down a tube. The sophisticated graphics show how much can be done with 1970s hardware and decades of know-how. It was made in 2007 for the Atari home computer, when the last Atari computer came out in 92. That's like over 10 years, because that computer stopped production in 92 as well, or I guess 93. It was in production for 1 year. A three-dimensional jumping game for all Atari XL XE home computers with at least 64 kilobytes of memory. A three-dimensional playfield, joystick and keyboard operated, stereo music and sound effects, 21 challenging levels. The winner of ABBUC Software Contest of 2007. Tunnel Jumper is not a common genre, but the innovative indie game Yump certainly defines it. Players traverse a tubular maze, steering a ball that bounces along with a reactive soundtrack. It's a great example of modern programmers continuing to innovate on Atari home computers. Yump. I love the music so far. This is great. Press fire to Yump. Okay. This is pretty cool. I like this. No! I died. Why is it doing it twice in a row? I want it to do a little jump and then I'll do the long jump again. Stop doing that. Oh my god. But then if I do a little jump there, I die. But if I do a long jump, he does it twice in a row. And then I die. Oh well, that was really cool though. Into the 90s. Well, that was 2007. Well, I mean, the computer was 92. That was 2007 though. Into the 90s. Ultimately, the dominance of the IBM-compatible PC meant Atari's exit from the computer business in the early 90s. But it was already planning a big move back into video games. You've been warned. Oh no. Planning a big move back into video games in the 90s. I'm gonna guess that's the Jaguar right there. The 1990s and beyond. The most powerful game systems in the world. Do the math. Atari comes roaring back. A pair of deadly felines leads Atari's charge into a new decade as it introduces its first handheld platform and its first CD-ROM system. Meanwhile, the Atari 2600 just keeps going and going. It's 1989, and they're still working the 2600 as they're introducing their first CD-ROM system and their first handheld. They're still putting into the 2600. That was like the very first console. It's like they will not let it fall off the map. Maybe that's part of why they went out. I don't know. Let's see. We actually do have some time left this segment. We have, we can probably get through part of the way of this. We got, maybe around 30 minutes, so let's see. Back to the roots. Looking at how the PC market was evolving, Atari felt it wouldn't be able to compete in the IBM-compatible market. The new plan was to refocus on Atari's first strength, video games. Notable and quotable. I remember sitting in the room with Jack, and Jack saying to all of us, let's go back to our roots. Let's do at least one more game system. Bill Reebok, former Atari vice president. (1989), the Atari Lynx. The next generation of Atari began in September of 1989 when it launched the Lynx, the first portable game machine with a color LCD display. It was designed so that players could choose to flip it over and play with the buttons on the left and the directional pad on the right. It originally sold for $179.99. It was the first color console that was handheld. Huh. Lynx, the underappreciated handheld. Former Atari developers Bill Reebok and Thomason discussed the Lynx and how its innovative features and cool games were ultimately underappreciated in their time.
There were so many things near the end of my early days with Atari that I wished, everything we felt was underappreciated. I bought a Lynx, and I was trying to find people to play the Lynx with me, and everyone else had a Game Boy. And I was like, you guys, Todd Slime World, let's do this. Let's play Warbirds. Come on.
And the Lynx was totally Sam's baby. He loved the notion of the hardware, and Sam, man, he loved the Lynx into the ground, right? Against all odds, he wanted to make it successful. You know, we did the original one that was sort of the original design, and then he was like, no, we got to double down on it and do it and make it better.
Being in the Bay Area, you see these ads, come test video games. So I think I tried out at a few places. Electronic Arts comes to mind. Didn't get the job there, but was lucky enough to kind of get the QA job at Atari. Back in the day, I think it was a lot more fun. People playing 4 Lynx games and then having them all go out of sync and then having to track that down. Like, probably at the 1,000th time that happens, it does get a little old. But I think back in the day, you actually got a lot more input into the games. So a lot of the last Lynx games like Lemmings and some of the early Jaguar games like Cybermorph, the QA department actually got a lot of input into those games from a design perspective. You know what? I think the Lynx was great hardware. I like the fact that it was color. And I think the fact that you could have this like 4-way local multiplayer was great.
20 some years later, here I am buying a Lynx with a RGB output because people are still modding them, you know, and selling them on eBay and stuff, right?
Notable and quotable. At the time, the Game Boy was all the rage, but the Lynx was bigger, fatter, and actually had better graphics, and it still is a really cool little console. That was Cliff Bleszinski. Lynx schematics, an image that Atari handed out to the press when it announced the Lynx, then called the Atari Portable Color Entertainment System, at the Summer Consumer Electronics Show in 1989. The Atari Portable Color Entertainment System. News release. Six AA batteries or plug-to-wall transformer or cigarette lighter adapter. Game's over. A large fold-out poster advertisement. Wait, did I go through all of that? Yeah, it was only 2. It was a large fold-out poster advertisement for Lynx distributed in the July 1990 issues of video game magazines took direct aim at the competing Game Boy system, which had a black and white screen. Introducing Lynx, the world's first super graphic, full-color, high-power portable video game system. Game's over, Game Boy. Hey, sorry Game Boy, but Lynx is the first full-color portable game system. It has a large LCD screen with high-definition super graphics. Not some yellow screen you can barely see. Lynx has more power for faster action, a deep level of play, and a link with up to 4 players. As for Game Boy, well, you've played it. Try playing Lynx just once. That's all it'll take to leave your little boy games behind. Ooh, ooh. Lots of games are available on small cartridges, with more being developed as we speak. Warning, may cause chills, dizziness, and shortness of breath. Rampage. Oh, you can play Rampage? You're a huge monster trashing 175 different cities. Army will try to stop you, so eat as many soldiers and tanks as you can. Rampage was on it. California games. Welcome to California. I'll get a grow. Surf your brains out. Skateboard the half pipe. Show fast footwork juggling the foot bag. Slam off the lip of desert berms on your BMX bike. Clacks. The latest arcade hit from Atari games. You must form clacks from colored tiles tumbling down the conveyor belt 100 levels. Gates of Zendikon. Hideous spider Zendikon has sent you deep into its web of 51 deadly universes. Survive each universe if you hope to return home. Electric Cop. To rescue the kidnapped daughter of the president, you must invade the Steel Complex where evil robots and dangerous traps protect the criminal brain. Vindicators, Xenophobe, Zarler Mercenary, Blue Lightning, Chips Challenge, Gauntlet. Oh, they even had Gauntlet? Coming soon to a screen near you. Miss Pac-Man, Slime World, 3D Barrage, Paperboy, Ninja Gaiden, APB, Road Blaster, Tournament Cyberball. These hit games are on their way with a whole bunch more right behind them. All with the fantastic color, great sound, and arcade graphics only Lynx can give you. Atari 7800 Ninja Golf. One of the most notorious games on the Atari 7800 thanks to its incongruous pairing of game genres. Ninja Golf finally answers the question of what would happen if you had to fight ninjas, sharks, and fire-breathing dragons while playing 9 holes. That is a good question. The 7800 console would be discontinued a year after Ninja Golf's release, so its rarity, along with the unusual gameplay mix promised by the title, martial arts, fighting, and golf, have helped this quirky game achieve cult status. After many long years of ninja training, you are finally ready for the most difficult test of all. Well, this sure is interesting. Oh, I can't go back. But he had, like, some whiskey or something with him. I mean, the combat is not the greatest by any means. How do I do that Hadoken thing that he did earlier? Where I, like, shoot the puff cloud or whatever? Get out of my way! What? What is going on? What? Did I win? Oopsie. Oh well. That was kind of weird. Original art. The original art used on the Ninja Golf cover. Basket Brawl. Atari 7800. There's no such thing as a personal foul in Basket Brawl, an Atari 7800 game in which you can either win by scoring the most dunks or by knocking your opponents out with punches. Regenerate health with 1990's most popular sports drink, a glass of milk. Yeah, those Got Milk ads were pretty much everywhere in the 90s. An early entry in the action sports genre, basketball replaces the rules of 2-on-2 basketball with physical attacks and weapons, cartoonishly violent with a tongue-in-cheek comic tone. It was one of the last games released for the Atari 7800. Vinny, Buster, Slash, Simon, Biff. You can play as Biff from Back to the Future? Okay, we're gonna play as Biff. Okay. Give me a dang ball, come on. Over here! Pass it! Pass it! Pass it! No! Give it here! Give it here! Time up. Okay. Well. Okay. Original art. The original art used on the basketball cover. Then we have Fatal Run for the Atari 2600, released in 1990. It's 1990 and we are still releasing games for the 2600. After 12 years of support, Atari released the last games for the Atari 2600 platform in 1990. One of the final releases was a 2600 version of Fatal Run with 32 kilobytes of memory. It was 16 times the size of the VCS launch game Combat and had all sorts of features that Atari designers in the 1970s could never have imagined. Okay, this actually looks pretty good. Fatal Run was one of the last two Atari 2600 games to be released, some 13 years after the system's debut. In an apocalyptic future, players race between cities, delivering vaccines and battling other drivers on the road. The European-only cartridge also has the distinction of being the largest commercial 2600 game at 32 kilobytes, a far cry from the 2 kilobyte size of the VCS launch games. Wow, okay. Fatal Run. New. Fatal Run, programmed by Steve Aguirre. Okay. Your mission is to drive to each city, delivering the much needed medication to save the people. Then launch the rocket to save the world. Okay. Ooh, okay, the graphics aren't that bad. Can I go faster? I want to go fast. Oh, okay, I can go faster. I just push up. Okay. Hee. I actually really like this. This is actually really fun. This is like the best game for the 2600 so far. Oh, watch out! Wait, I can't run over the cake? What is that bar? What's a yellow bar that's depleting when I run over the cake? Run! No! I know I'm driving and not running, but it is called Fatal Run, so... Game over. Well, that was fun. Fatal Run for the Atari 7800. Here we go, one of the final games released for the 7800 as well. The driving action game Fatal Run was in fact only released in Europe, where the system was more popular. Haha. So it was made in America, but it's more popular in Europe. This post-apocalyptic car combat game features an elaborate and cinematic not found on the 2600 version. The developer's sculptured software would go on to to great success in the 16-bit era. Yeah, okay. Okay, it actually was a bit more fun on the 2600. We had a wider road and the car was wider. It felt more widescreen. Everything's more narrow. I kind of like the 2600 version better, but I can actually understand what these little doohickeys on the side are now. A bit more. Okay. Yeah, no, this is good. Move out of my way. Out of my way! Okay, it's a bit congested right here. This is what it's like on my way to work. Someone riding my tail like that when there's a car literally right next to me and I can't go anywhere. Is there a way to go faster? I want to go faster! No, but we could put an inner tube up around our car in case we want to go swimming. Okay. I see a little stretch of road way off in the distance there. Wait, is that... What is that? I don't know, but I just hit it. No! Get on the road! Okay, everyone's crashing into me. Okay, now what? There's a city! Everyone's dying. Or at least a few people died. 11 alive, perished for... Okay. So I can buy brakes, drum cost, buy gun ammo, buy a new engine, more fuel. Let's buy fuel. A windshield. Some tires, gas tank, bumper, get a gun, no, maybe some brakes. Okay. Okay, now what? All right, all right. Okay, those are barricades, not cakes that I was running over. Out of my way. There we go. No! We haven't played any of the Lynx games yet, I don't think. Do we get to play any Lynx games? Oh, there's the city! We won! Okay, so a few people died. Okay, let's see. I want to get more fuel. Okay. Yeah, this is like one of the best Atari games so far. So much road rage in this game, though. Starting to run out of fuel. My damage meter's going up too. Alright, I think I'm done with this. Ugh. Done with that for now. Let's see. Original art. This is the original art used on the Fatal Run cover. Scrapyard Dog, Atari 7800. The side-scrolling platform game was very popular during this era of gaming, but Atari 7800 only had one Scrapyard Dog in which you have to rescue your kidnapped dog while avoiding various hazards of urban life such as rats, runaway tires, and gangsters. Let's go ahead and give this a play. Atari's entry into the popular platform genre wasn't content to just let players walk to the right and hop around. Various mini-games, secret shops, power-ups, and hidden warps, both within and between levels, were designed to appeal to players who enjoy exploration. I've got the dog. Go to the phone at the east end of the junkyard for further instructions. Be there on time, Mr. Big. Your junkyard. Oh, he's pretty fast. Refuse only. Press P to hear and reset the tune. Play it correctly to receive a bonus. Okay, that's kind of dumb. Let's just get out of here. Let me out of here! No, I don't care about no bonus. Let me out. Good work. Now on to Eisenhower Lane. Okay. Eisenhower Lane. Oh, we can't go backwards? Okay. I died from the water. World 1, Level 1. What? I thought you said continue the game. Okay, no. Original art. The original art used on the Scrapyard Dog cover. Scrapyard Dog Lynx. While the Lynx version of Scrapyard Dog has a similar setup to the 7800 version, it's actually a completely different game. This version is generally considered to be the superior one, but since both are included in this collection, you can decide for yourself. While the Lynx version of Scrapyard Dog arrived a year after the 7800 edition, it features a bright color palette, many secret areas for players to uncover, and a high challenge that players found rewarding. It's often cited as the best platform game on the Lynx. I've got the dog. Find us if you want to see him again. Mr. Big. Yeah, so far I like this much better than the other. The Lynx version is superior. I can already tell. But you die more easily, apparently. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, I am done with that. I keep dying. Okay. The Atari Lynx redesigned. Sales of the Lynx were not what Atari had hoped, and in the spring of 1991 it took a multi-pronged approach to attempt to get things moving. It introduced a budget-priced $19.99 system bundle that removed the pack-in game, AC adapter, and comlinks cable, and it replaced the current system with a new, smaller model. Free game. Customers who bought the full-price Lynx bundle, which was now $149.99 in mid-1991, could get a free game as a bonus. And get a second game cartridge free. Retail value of over $190. Select any of these. Budget package. The No Frills 1990, not 1990. The No Frills $99.99 package only included the Lynx base unit. This was still more expensive than the Game Boy, which was $89.99 and included headphones, a link cable, and a game cartridge. Yeah, and the original Game Boy, they were looking into color, but the reason why they didn't have color on the Game Boy is because it would take, I think they said 8 AA batteries, and also it would bring the price of the unit up, and they wanted the unit to be affordable. So, yeah, that's probably why the Lynx didn't sell, because people wanted what was more affordable. Turbo Sub. There are other submarine games and other alien shooting games, but how many games give you both? Turbo Sub is another game making good use of the Lynx sprite scaling capabilities to produce a first-person pseudo 3D environment. You know, I think I'm going to leave it here at the Atari Lynx redesign, and we will go into some more of the games later, as we have just made it past our time here. So stay tuned and look forward to next time. We'll be diving into more of these Lynx games, and I assume 1990s and beyond will also be jumping into some of the Atari Jaguar. Anyway, this has been Clucloid with Retro Age Gaming. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check in next time as we go through some more of these great, or maybe not so great, Atari Lynx titles. And yeah, let's see if we run into some Atari Jaguar in here as well. Until next time, peace out.